Let's start this thing.
See, this is what I don't get. It's like, I'm here. Everything else is working, but for some reason that starting screen. No. Yep, just another manic Monday. Okay. So, let's get this on. So, just because Snappy mentioned it, and I figure I will just clarify it. I haven't been 100% today. Actually, for that reason, I'm going to skip this track. Yeah, I went bed last night, felt completely fine, and then less than an hour later, I woke up feeling absolutely Tom Dick. So, that alone wasn't bad, but I had issues with my breathing at the same time, so it was bad enough that we called like the non-emergency doctor line just to see if it was serious, or if it was just like it felt serious, It was chest pain, so you didn't want to take it lightly, but equally, Anyway, nothing actually serious, but I've been feeling rough all day. Doesn't help that I didn't really have a lot of sleep, so just on the off chance I do come across a bit off normal today, that will be the explanation. I haven't, well, put it like this, I went to the hospital on Thursday. If I've picked it up since then, it was a very delayed pickup. Oh, this scene's not working as well. Yeah, the plot thickens. I'm gonna have to think about that. Because at the moment it just looks weird, but if I move it, it looks weirder. I'm guessing stream elements are having problems. And they haven't figured to tell people yet. Alright, GAC. So, like I say, it's not been a great 12 hours or so for me. I didn't do any research ahead of this round. And unlike most rounds, I'm not even going to do the prelim. I'm just going to go straight in and see what we're facing. So, let's see. They've cleared the south wall. Let's see how they got on. Alright, all of that. One shot, fair enough. Back wall. They haven't hit it because they don't need to. Okay. Let's see, a slacker on defense. Gungans, Tuscans, Embo, Kira, and Palpatine. There we go. Let's load that up and reset. Here we go, Boss Nass. And just say, be of little faith. We live in a very impatient society. If you expect me to remember what I'm going to do for every single one of these, you'd be very impressed. Alright, so we've got Maul, General Grievous. Oh, try again. We've got Jab Jab. Got Hera. And we've got Caloran. Hey, I had a rough one. I had a pair of rough ones last time, so yeah. If you check my last stream, I don't think it lasted barely half an hour. Okay. So Afro just makes sense there. Great Mothers on the Gungans. Is there anything fancy on that Krog? Stacking offense, Death Pen and offense up, okay. I would like to think Jabba could do that, but I feel like Jabba could be a bit heavy for it. Ah, you use Ray-Ban and Cal. Oh, hang on, Cal. I've just realised it wasn't Ezra. That was the bit that I was expecting. Hey, nice one, T-Max. I've heard a few people have been trying Ray, and I'm like, interesting. It's certainly a way of shifting the meta, I suppose. Not sure I'm a fan of it. Yeah, that was essentially me last round. Alright, it is a Hera-focused Datacron there, so I've got to be a bit respectful. But saying that... I gotta take my tablets. I haven't got Tuskens on offense. I'm pretty sure of that. I can believe it. I can believe it. I mean, I've been using it in Squad Arena. Obviously not the same with threes, but I can imagine it's got a bit of legs to it. Alright, that's intriguing. You could just do a Padme team. Maybe not the highest of banners. Alright, let's go for 100 battles then. Okay, 50 battles. Yeah, so... That's probably the one I can afford the best. Bleeding hell, using Padme in this day and age. The sign of how little she's used, the fact that I haven't typed her in. I've got CLS on defense, I think. Yeah, he's chilling there, so we can't do CLS against Starkiller. I think it could be an interesting shout. Yeah, specifically filtered with the DC. Defending DC set, Hera. I will just double check, was there any specific crons used here? Not by the looks of it. Just protection up. Maybe I could do something like that though. I'll tell you what, ignore that wall, ignore that wall. I'm fucking around. I don't really want to do Malgus though, that feels a bit expensive. Have I placed Qui-Gon on defense? I think I might have placed him at the back. Yeah, I finally got Qui-Gon on me on my main, and naturally I decided to put it on defense. %5 offense. And then this is Death Pen offense. Why is it not full? Oh, of course, we haven't got any data on it, do we? Alright. As defending Datacron, yes. Up to level 6. That's intriguing. Yeah, I've penciled Tuscans to do. Sorry, penciled Maul to do. Maul. Penciled Sidious to do Tuscans. But we could always switch that. Maybe just throw Bo-Katan at it. I'm not entirely sure what else I'd do with her. Yeah, I think I might do that. I might just give Bo-Katan a run out. And Caloran, again, Caloran's an odd one. I'm assuming he's got Temple Guard and Jocasta. Barris and Jocasta, right. I'll just throw Raver at it. There we go, got a wall worked out. Then we can plan the back and the front based on what we got left. So let's start at it. Yeah, that is the hope. Yeah, I don't use any of these. Alright, can we just get Maul nice and early? I doubt it, but give it a go. I mean, I will take that. I don't know what got Paz so jacked up, but I will take it. Let's just go for the B2. Alright, back against the B2. Hopefully splash damage gets the B2 there. And similarly, hopefully that happens here. Okay, we're a bit unlucky. Alright, 57. Situations like that, I do feel like I've done well getting Jar Jar to R9, because I didn't see the exact stacks on the shield, but you think it just gives you that little bit of security. He's not going to fall down. Right, so that was the 3 they were picking before. Again, I can't really afford a Crom, but I feel like I need something. Yeah, she's going to get worked on soon. See, that feels excessive, but it's about the only Chron I can spare. Maybe I can give that up. Yeah, it would have only been going for something with Alan, I suppose, so yeah, let's give that up. I've been farming Crons in the past week that are a bit more meh. You know, stuff I can just throw on defense. Okay, so we gotta go for Kanan first anyway, fair enough. I suppose it means they wasted that buff on Rex. I'm assuming they're connected. I can't remember offhand though. Hey up, fish, how you doing? Alright, let's try and stun you. Alright, we didn't stun, but we did at least get a hit on her. Okay, back again. And down, right. We're on a third team, I think. So far, so good, but we're very early days. How's yours gone? Oh, not what we're after. That was awkward. It felt like I didn't even do any damage. Alright, we can cleanse. Kennel, thanks for the follow. Hello there. I think I'm just going to go for Hera. Just try and get rid of the one that's going to keep healing, well, reviving, I should say, not healing. There we go. Well, yeah, he gets guard. Even in that sort of situation where he's not being guarded. Yeah, we're struggling a bit here. Alright, I'll have to take that. But yeah, General Kenobi, how you doing, Ken? Let's send in some bounty hunters just to clean this up. I don't even think we want to do the big boys. Just send in some that can basically debuff him and bomb him. Is there anything that I'm missing here? I don't think there's anything too big. Right, remove turn meter. Throw the bombs. Throw some more. Another stun. We didn't time out. Rex got us, and it looks like he's going to get us again here. Yep, give him his due. He's a tanky boy. Yeah, I think I'm doing that. Just capture him. I'm going to say this is Kyber 2, so a little bit of difference, but I'm going to say it's still relative difficulty, isn't it? Right, bit of days. Yeah, this Rex is hella tanky. Right, Hondo finally got there. Said it right at the start, I haven't been up that well today, so if I'm coughing or anything like that, sorry about that, folks. Alright, let's send these three in, make sure we pop the Datacron on, otherwise we're going to look a bit foolish. Alright, let's go. V3 has gone 3-0 G2 every time Big Z on me. I'm gonna say Big Z on me, it's an interesting on me. If I had some spare, I'd be tempted on my main. Alright, we've got an app break in 4. If I can get through this wall in that time, I will probably just have a little break to get a refill of my drink. But didn't refill it. It is going to be refilled with water. At least as far as you guys know. Alright, can I just pop this Wookiee again? If that summoning credit, it did hit it quite well there. I saw his video about the state of the game, yeah. Well, I was watching it before I started here. Didn't get all the way through it, but I got the gist. Alright, 57. Genuinely, I'm not sure if... Oh, I say I'm not sure. This is the closest I've been to not playing Marvel Snap. No, I'm not saying I am stopping, but it's definitely been a bad week for the game. But when you add in things that have happened recently, it's like one thing on top of another on top of another. Yeah, essentially they've released a very monetized card. Kid Omega. and you can get it now for 100 quid, or you wait a month and you can get it for how you would normally get cards. So my issue there is they're already releasing cards at a very rapid rate. So the idea that a discount is a good thing, I'm not on board with. Especially when we've always had cards for free. Yeah, it's nothing to SWGOH, but by comparison, Snap's been a lot more resistant to that, shall we say. Yeah, I'm just going to try and get Kala in here. Yeah, I didn't get him, damn. I do, yes. If you search for JJ's Productions Twitch, you'll find my YouTube can. It should also be in my channel links somewhere. We got... Yeah, let's try this. Thanks very much, Snappy. Snooze that ad break, it's a bit slow. Alright, that isn't good. Yeah, she's been a bit stubborn. I feel like I might have to take her down with something bigger than I'd like to use. Hey, nice one, Fish. I was way behind when you said it the other day. I thought I was much nearer. Yeah, I think we're going to struggle here. Yeah. This could get very awkward with Mace. Here she goes with the rocket. Alright, full auto. I'm sure we can clean Caloran up with something, but that is a very messy couple of shots. I'm almost essentially hoping they have got Slacker at the back, because it might mean they haven't got an answer to my Slacker. I just thought, what are the odds to use the Dispel ability? Alright, days. Yeah, I feel like getting the second one out could be tricky. He is an attacker, isn't he, Caloran? So he's getting crit damage. Yeah, I was using 9th to see if we could get him via dots, but I don't think dots are the way. There was a reason, I wasn't just spamming specials. There we go. Alright, so 7 battles dropped on the front wall. Rey and Ahsoka. Omega, Saw, and General Syndulla. So no Slacker. So that probably does mean they can slack a mirror. Alright. I'm going to do what I said. I'm going to get a drink, and then we are going to attack the rest of the walls. So, add in as well, we're behind by about 50 odd banners. We've got to be efficient. Try and cause them to be a bit messy. Okay, we're back. Alright, let's jot these down again. Rey, Saw, Omega, Ahsoka, and Jensen. Okay. I'm pretty sure Dabba Bulba can do Saw. We've got Sia for Ray. We've got Leia for Doka. So from here, I'm thinking, where can we solo or at least max banners? I think that's a two-man. I'm trying to think about the Malgus one, where Jabba was able to solo. And I'm just thinking, are there any situations like that where we could try something? Okay, so Jabba can take out, by the looks of it, a Trier. I wonder if we... I mean, I saw Kira down there. I suppose we could do Jabba on Kira. Do C on Embo. Balin, JML. Alright. Let's get into this. So we'll go for the area. Alright, let's just dispel. Throw some rocks. I say Ray's a bit mad, she always is. Give the other Ray a knockout. We'll just hit Ben for a min. Premature beating. Right, nice and straightforward. Okay, this should be a straightforward two-shot. Well, you know, two-man, I should say. We don't want a two-shot. I know basics do more damage, but I was looking for the buffs on special. We'll eventually get Death Mark. That's my hope, anyway. If this is a way of preventing it, it's kind of interesting. Assuming that Fenix just beefy enough. I almost need Fennec to miss. I'm looking in case this. Well, I'm saying I'm looking out. I'm wishing there was something where I could remove debuffs. Not even remove debuffs, remove buffs. Yeah, I just don't think I get through this. I'll let it auto just in case maybe there's a dodge or something, but I just think practically we're not going to miss. It's annoying because all we need is a death mark. Yeah, not a nice way of losing. I mean, Fennec's tilted. I think you can still get around it with Depot Ball, but you just don't play like an idiot like I was. You get Kara down early so that she's going to take a turn and then you can kill her. You essentially need to leave the others around. As well, it's where order of events kind of irritate me, the fact that you would like to think Fennec would be applying Deathmark and then attacking, but it's the damage then the debuff. You can tell that it's how it's working because she isn't even inflicting armor shred. Alright. Take anti-revive him. Yeah, don't apply crons really here. All right. Fairly straightforward. Yeah, tank revives are always annoying like that when you don't see them coming. Alright, 55. It would be safe to say my opponent's got a free reign at this round if you choose to. Why they wouldn't, I don't know. I can't help but wonder if I could just get away with them too, but might as well take the 3M. Alright, clean 57. Oh, I put Balin down and he's not on defense, on offense. Swap in Malgus. Yeah, we're fine with that. Alright, Puyang down. I would have liked if that smack had worked. Or that. Alright, Jensen. Stop her taking a turn. Alright, that'll do. I was mainly thinking if we stop her taking a turn where she steals banners. Alright, 57. So other than that one drop, that was an okay wall. We can get back on track as well with this. Alright, so let's just go for Phalanx. Okay, put Doomed on boss. Ooh, we don't like that. Alright, let's just start working on the shield. Just because practically, as long as it takes to get Jar Jar hit, quick to get the shield. Alright, 57. Alright, Sidious. Sidious Kron. Go full auto. When we win, we lose, we lose. We don't have anti-revive, but we do have stacking offense, so hopefully that means we can AoE and get the 2 out. Hopefully. Okay, so Warrior's down, so we've just got to deal with Chieftain now. Plus, it's going to keep getting back to 100%, so it's not like we're in danger of losing this. Yeah, I think we'll do it. Chieftain's already looking squishy. Just interrupting him taking a drink. There we go, he's going for his drink again. We're getting there slowly. Whenever a Sith ally critically hits an enemy during the turn, that ally gains 10% offense. So you'd like to think we're gaining crit damage every time we critically hit. So we should eventually... There we go, we've got Chieftain out, so it's just timing a one-shot now between these two. Not necessarily a one-shot, but getting them both low enough at the same time to hit them both. See if we can just manual play it a little bit. Because the AI will prioritize the AoEs. Yeah, this is the trouble. We're also hitting quite hard as well, so without a counter, that would have been nice. And that. Yeah, if we weren't countering, it would actually be quite sweet. I mean, that wasn't bad. It's kind of close. Just needs a touch more, I think. Look at that. That all that needed was a bit more. Oh, just a bit more. There we go. 59. All right, we do C here. Cad can hit, but I'm more worried about Embo and Greedo out of the 3. Okay, that gives retribution. I mean, I almost feel we can ult. Both in the yellow, but... Yeah, do that. Cool. This is Jabba. I mean, it'll be slow getting the ult, but if we need it, we should get within the 5. I was just weighing up in my head, do I have to do auto basic here? But we're going to just stick with the full auto for now. I think we should be fine. If anything, we haven't actually done any real damage to Lando, and he's looking weak. Yeah, them thermals are doing good work to Scando. And we got an ult coming in. And Kira just dies. And then finally we do 1, 2, which does feel very weird considering effectively that means I'm not using JMK. $56. Yeah, that's not great. Okay. Still, there was a lot of banners saved on that wall, so won't make up for the banners lost, but it's an improvement. Alright, we do... We do Mace here, don't we? Yeah, it's Mace. I printed something off last month for this and I can't remember where I put it. Oh, I didn't print it, that was it. Saved it as a document, but yeah, hang on. I think my printer was on the Blitz the day I tried printing it. Right, I've just snoozed that ad break, so we keep Rex in the game. Alright. We basic punishing one. I remember that. We apply that to Rex. Just make it hard for him to tune down. And then we do the AoE. Bring in Abenorg. Alright, that's perfect. Right, we'll do that just to make sure we're getting Valor. Alright, that's good. Let's get rid of that crit hit immunity. It's hard not to look at some chips and think you're designed to wind people up, aren't you? Alright, Anakin. I think we're basic for the simple fact it's got foresight, but we can bypass it. Okay, we've basic there, sadly. Oh, saying that's good, that's good. Let's stealth Anakin. Lovely. 66. That lets us do a prof mirror. And then it's just... was it Radis last? If that's the case, we do Empire. Okay, that's a bit awkward. That's the main thing. As long as Y-Wing's down, I don't care. They're probably reinforced with either Biggs or Phantom at this point. Biggs, okay. Either way, I always save the special for the reinforcement. Try and whittle that down as quick as we can. That's pretty nice. I don't know if you saw my video, I got a 514 Iron Man. Yeah, I was gutted when I got Shang-Chi'd. Especially as it lost me the game. There's only one way of putting it. Alright, all good here. 75. Yep, and finally, Executrix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -1. In we go. Ability block. Get the counter. Stun. They wiggle, we fly by. Basic. Basic. Perfect. I think that's max, or close to. 75, we lost 1 on protection, I will take that. 75 solid. 1999. 1 point off where I feel at bare minimum should be, but because it's a point, I can live with it. The downside is I'm pretty sure this guy gets over 2,000. So, enjoy my slacker. I hope it gives you trouble. And I don't think much else will. Maybe Balin, if he's feeling mischievous. I mean, Saw, I'm assuming we'll just get bobbered. You gotta deal with 2 meta fleets on my end, but there are ways around them. So, yeah, I assume they've got Leviathan for my Executor, Prof for my Leviathan, then Empire for the Radis. So they were doing what I was doing about a month or two ago. So fair play. But yeah, I hope Thacker gives them issues because then it gives me a chance. So let's see how it goes. Alright, we're all claimed up there. Let's go to the free-to-play. So what if I say there is time for 1 second. I've just clocked out and I remembered I need to claim my Conquest NG. I didn't do it last time and I ended up regretting it. And this is kind of my last chance to do it because I think by the time I'm done, Conquest will be wrapping up. I don't get this with the overlays. That one's looking very much alright. I'll say that even that one's fixed itself. I don't know. Right, so I've been lacking Mark 1 materials here, oddly enough. So I'm going to just do some refreshes with that in mind. Actually, well, a refresh with that in mind, I should say. 245. Audio issues. I think it was just a software update. I think it was. Can't really pin anything else on it, let's say that. Just a quick shout out, by the way. I don't know if anyone else has a situation like this, but one of my guild mates, Surfer Dude, he's gone for the Guild Plus plan on SWGOH, so a big shout out to him for the fact that it's really given me a little boost here with like the SWGOH premium insight stuff. So yeah, I appreciate that, Surfer. I have DM'd him to say thanks, but just want to give him a shout out because it's a very nice thing for him to do. Right, ad breaks running on Twitch. Alright, here we go. No, just mulling this over. It's a shame they don't put Omicrons in the red crate. Like, however much you push to get a red crate, it wouldn't hurt to put an Omicron or two in, would it? Right, I didn't refresh that optimally, I know, but it's been done at least. Alright, so up against Optimus Prime. Again, I'm just not wasting time going through all the beats. They've obviously full cleared. They dropped on my Kylo. At least it did its job in terms of getting a hold. Ewoks, Qui-Gon, Gas, hooks, no holds. Let's just move the cam. There we go. Trench, Salty, CLS, Maul, and Ray no holds. DCMG, Iden, Quadmate, no holds. Pinzori did get a hold. No hold for GG though. And no drops on Fleet. That's interesting though. That does make me think, where's Slacker? Right, so this wall's got Saw, General Grievous, Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, Ahsoka without Ezra, and Malgus. Okay. So I'm assuming Ezra's chilling down here. We've got Boss, Rad, Lord Vader with Rolgard and Maul, Ray Ben Ezra, and Tuskens. Okay. So, same as last time for the Tuskens, I think. Ray Ben Ezra feels weird because I haven't got Flapper on offense, which was my go-to counter in previous seasons. I feel like I'm going to have to try Seer, even though it's obviously not as guaranteed. Lord Vader we can do Bo-Katan. For the Gungans, there's no Jar Jar. It's Phalanx and Tarpals. I really want to see what like my small options are. Apparently Sid can do it. That's actually an option because, well, maybe not the option I go for, but the fact that I've got those tunes kind of free. Have I got 5 at first on offense? No. I thought it was unlikely, but I will check. Okay, I think I've got to go with something pretty big. But I am curious, what is it like without Luthen? 76%. Yeah, I think that's just too low a percentile to chance it. I think we throw a Treya at it. Just play it safe. Maybe I do that. Dash on Chewie. I thought so. We can do Dab a Boba up here. Night Sisters. Some sort of C team on Ahsoka. And then tentatively I'm throwing these in, but they can get juggled around depending on what we need. So yeah, let's roll with it for now. This is the big question mark. Got 2 Crons with decent armor pen. This is the one I'm going to go for. Even though, arguably, that's probably a better level 3, relatively speaking, but I just prefer that. I want to throw as much armor pen at this as I can. Yeah, full health build. Okay, let's dispel that. We'll throw the rocks at Rey. There we go, she gets a bit upset. Within her rights. Right, let's throw that at Ezra. Okay, Ezra's probably going to get a bit upset in a second. Yeah, we didn't want Taron to get that. Okay, we got rid of Ben. Yeah, but Taron could die here. Oh, Taron's definitely dead now. Ooh, okay. We're just about hanging in here. Come on. Ugh. Alright. Whoa. 59 banners. Dark Killer, if I could, I'd give you a Relicate for that. You earned it. Oh, for sure, stay. For sure. I mean, I did not really want to do that, but I felt like the options I got available were kind of leading me to it. But we got through it at least. Okay. Let's work down the list. Oh yeah, for sure. By the skin of my teeth. No denying that. No denying it. Is it weird that I'm kind of glad that he taunted then, so that I can try and isolate him? I forgot to isolate first, so it's like, oh yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I was a bit surprised at no Jar Jar. It's certainly an easier comp. You know, it's a bit of a funny one, that stay, because honestly, my gut says stay on whatever you're working on, but generally with the raid, I always think it's worth building something up for it. So that way you're not reliant on your guildmates to lift you. So I'm not going to say mace, because mace could be pretty much just good for the raid. It's too early to know. I doubt it, but you never know until people play with him. But it's definitely worth working on something. So the one I would suggest really is the new Bad Batch. They're probably going to be something that will be good in the raid and useful away from it, but they're not going to be too... It's not like going for two big farms, which is the Darkside clones and those two vanguards. So that's just my opinion. But yeah, by all means, it's all a case of what you feel good farming. But I think it's always important that you help your guild in whatever way you can. You know, if you're going to be doing Order 66, you want to be able to contribute, don't you? Alright. I wrote this down, I don't know if it works. Well, more like I didn't know if I got the tunes. Fish, you're back, hello there. Alright, keep sipping water. Can we stun? Nope. Okay, that's better. I don't think he'd be good as such in GAC. I'm not saying he'll be bad, but when you think he hasn't got GAC Omicron, I think... But best way I can phrase it, I imagine in GAC he'll be like Doctor Moff Gideon. You know, people will like him in there eventually, but he won't be broken in the game mode. You know, it'd be something people use. So, for that reason, I would hold fire a little bit, because, again, he could be good, but he's probably going to be something that elevates a bit more in TW because of these Omicrons. Even I know that Temple Guard and Jocasta have got GAC Omnis, but we kind of need to see how they integrate with what Mace has. It's definitely worth holding fire and seeing what people say about him. Nothing traumatic unless you're counting my main. I mean, my main has just gone through a bit of a mess. We've all cleared, but it was a 1999 score, so Firelander could be better. Yeah, I mean, TW Legendaries aren't exciting in my line, in my thought process, but it's a bit like DTMG. Could be useful moving forward. I would stick with Leia and then go to whatever next. Just because Leia's going to help you in GAC. It's always about not forgetting your guild, that's the thing. But like with mine, there are a few people who've said, look, I can't just hop on the raid, I'm nearly finishing this, but it's more a case we don't want people thinking, right, you know, players 1, 2, 3 are going to carry the raid and the rest can just ignore it. Everyone has to contribute in our guild, but yeah, it's essentially just that, making sure no one in your guild feels that way. No, no. There we go. You can't be Optimus Prime, you dirty Decepticon. I really feel like I need to watch the Transformers movies to understand that reference. I saw the first one, and all I really remember from it was Megan Fox. The best guild in your cluster wants R8, R9 and all the new teams. Ooh, that's hefty. I mean, again, I respect it for why guilds do that, but ooh-wee. Yeah, exactly. I think that's it, isn't it? You finish what your current form is, which I think is good advice all round. And then when you've done it, get onto the raid, because, you know, the longer the guild, or any guild you're in, if you like, whoever's guild you're in, the longer the score stays low, the less rewards you're collectively getting. So you want to get those rewards up. I was going to say, Fish has got 3 accounts. It's 3 cups. A Relic 9, a Relic 8, and a Relic 7. All 3 of the cup bundle for the R9. Let's just go full auto until Chieftain's down. Unless we get lucky and get the Raiders together. Yeah, Chieftain's nearly gone. Alright, let's hit that one. Correction, let's hit that one. Yeah, it's still a bit low. Well, I should say not low enough. Okay, we can basic that one. That's fine. Oh, okay. I thought we might have glitched and got around the revives then. I was like, oi, oi. I got excited. Oh. Just needed more then. That's got to be it. There we go. I haven't been able to get on it yet. Last I saw it was later on that it releases. I will check my console though with you saying that. I will, if it is already out, then I'm going to be bummed. Not only because I haven't started recording it yet, but also because I'm not 100%. Yeah, are you okay? Okay. No worries, Duck. Yeah, I think I might have got the version that gives me 48 hours access, I think. At least based on the countdown timer I saw. Oh yeah, YouTubers always get early access. I mean, it kind of irritates that, you know, you obviously want to do a Let's Play series of a game, and the big ones have already got the game. It's like, I respect it, they've done the RGRs to earn it, but it's like, yeah, it saps up them early views, doesn't it? Alright, let's add these in. Great Mothers, French, Qui-Gon, DLS, and Queen Amidala. It is funny in a way, people who aren't 10 mil but close, they won't sort of accept that I'm 10 mil thing. It's like me, I wouldn't think my account here is 12 mil just because I'm 11 point something. But I can understand the rounding up, it's that thing of, oh yeah, it's nearly, you know. What's Lord Vader fancying? alright. Lord Vader fancies a bit of Qui-Gon. Going to say, take the fish opinion with a pinch of salt if it comes to 2 girls, 1 cup. I think that's what I hear a lot. Burm, hello there. How you doing? Let's just review a second. I haven't missed anything bad up here, have I? I kind of have. Kind of. I'm just thinking, let's do that. Then we can do that. And that. That feels pretty strong on all these. Alright, let's whittle through them. Oh, hey. Right, slam the ground. Fear. Alright, feared jackal. Shock, lovely. And say hit the big target. Lovely. Oof. Okay. Right, 57. The next Star Wars show or whatever, as far as I know, it's The Mandalorian and Grogu. I can't think of anything that's coming out later this year. But maybe I've forgotten something. Yeah, I can't really think of anything. Yeah, I don't think there's anything imminent. I'd like to be proven wrong, because I always enjoy a morning where I've got some Star Wars to watch. I go back to it, right? I feel like that was the only downside of Andor, the fact that it kind of made people think Star Wars can't be less than this. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, it was great. But it's like, when the first season of The Mandalorian came out, people loved it. Yet, by comparison, The Mandalorian had the same faults as a lot of Star Wars has. Yet, no one minded it at the time. Arguably, yeah. The quality of Andor is so great that it makes things that are not aiming to be like that feel less. When they're not really, they're just different. It's like how people have said that the Skeleton Crew show was forgettable. And I'm like, granted, I can't remember the character names that well at the moment. You know, I've not watched it in 6+ months. But it wasn't bad. You know, it's just that it had its moment. And it kind of passed. In my defense, I'd forgotten the Andor characters' names after a year. You know, I kind of needed a refresher when the series came back around. I don't know about season 2.5 and 3. That was just weird with doing the Book of Boba Fett and all that, but it's what they chose to do. Yeah, exactly. I try not to be overly critical. There are moments when I do feel, you know, like the shark's been jumped. You know, I will call moments like that out. But it's like even the Acolyte, people really hated on that. And don't get me wrong, it was not something that I was jumping up and down about. But there's still beats in it that I was like, you know, I find this interesting. You know, I want to see what happens here. You know, there was nothing that I was like really angry about. Or well, I never get angry. Or at least about Star Wars. You know, so it's like, I just think some people do get really wound up over nothing. And it's a bit of a shame, to be honest. to a degree, I respect that, Don Zenzi. I actually think that would be something that they should do a bit more of. But equally, I think they do need to cater to kids as well. You know, it really does exclude the future generation if it's just, hey, we're adults, we want adult stuff. You know what I mean? So I think they have to balance it. And I think stuff like The Mandalorian is how you do balance it. You know, you've got things that kids and adults can watch. And then maybe you go more towards The Acolyte, where it's maybe a little bit more towards kids, but the adults can still join in and watch. You know what I mean? You know, like I say, I'm saying The Acolyte, because, you know, I think that's kind of where they were vibing for it. Like, I'm not going to say tween, but, you know, maybe something for a younger audience. Whoa. Right, if I was going to say that, it would actually be more Skeleton Crew. That'd be tweeny, wouldn't it? But it's like just that generation above it, shall we say? You get what I'm saying? It's like different demographics. I mean, if there was one thing about The Acolyte that bummed me, it was the fact that we never found out what happened after. You know, I don't know that that's probably a slight on the show itself, but actually, correction, Sol, I did love Sol. I thought he was a pretty cool character as a Jedi, but I kind of wanted to see what these mysteries they were building up were going to lead to, like Vanestra, what her past was with Chimera, and obviously the idea of what would happen with Chimera in regards to Plagueis and what Plagueis was doing. All these little questions, and you're like, oh, we're never going to find out. Or at least if we do, we've got to read a comic somewhere. Yeah. You know, and again, I respect it could have been better. I'm not going to sit here and, you know, get my shield and defend the show for my life. I'm not that passionate about it. But it is Star Wars, and I am passionate about Star Wars, so I will defend it within degree, you know. Hopefully that's alright. Yeah, I think a lot of people just hated on it straight away with some of the casting choices, and, you know, again, whatever people's opinions are, they have the right to them, but sometimes I do think they are very stuck in their ways. Okay, Poe be gone. I always remember that when I was, it was 2005, I was in year 9. Was it year 9? Yeah, year 9. I have to count in my head. And that's when Revenge of the Sith came out, and I always remember thinking to myself, well, I've just seen the last Star Wars movie. And obviously we had the Clone Wars after it, and well, Rebels was really the start of Disney. But you think to yourself, right, we've had the end of Star Wars. So kind of take every show that comes out since as something I never thought would happen, you know. I sometimes just wish people had that mentality a bit, you know. I'm not saying you've got to be sheep and not have opinions or be critical, but sometimes just be a little bit happy we got something. Okay. I mean, to God, I really hope he wants to, well, let's say wants to. I hope he gets the opportunity to return to that role again. I feel like the Obi-Wan series could have been better. You know, there are things that even as an Obi-Wan lover, as someone who does try to defend the shows, I struggle to defend. So I really hope he gets a chance to reprise the role and do something different. I do think COVID hit that show a fair bit. You know, I'm like, give him a chance with something a little bit different. To a degree, I'm accepting that. you know, again, there are certain things I won't defend, but sometimes I think how bad is bad writing? That's where I will always sort of raise a question mark. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, again, I love the prequels, but some of the writing in that is objectively really bad. Even the original trilogy was pretty bad. So, again, I do find it funny when there's this, like, really snootiness about it. And I think it is because a lot of television now has become, like, top quality with the Breaking Bads of the world. That it's like, why can't Star Wars have that? And I'm thinking, not really meant to be like that. I'll tell you right, actually. I watched a Simpsons episode recently, a new Simpsons episode, and the plot of it was something along the lines of... hang on, let me pull the actual thing up. Is it 36, the new one? Yeah, this is it. They did a stacking Treehouse of Horror, and it was the third act. Well, what was it based on? I can't remember what the book or the Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. I'll tell you what, I thought it was a brilliant spoof of the current climate around television. The idea that people really do like this idea that television has to be so on point and really intelligent. And there are people out there who are Homer Simpson that just want to watch something that is very easy to watch and they can just relax while watching it. It was such a brilliant sort of snapshot to what I think is the problem with current television, that people can't just seem to accept that television can be lowbrow. Like, some people just want it to be as highbrow as possible, or at least be on point as possible. You know, it's like, it's where all these like rating critics and all this stuff, it's like, there are objectively bad things, I'm not denying that, but then I think sometimes it gets skewed with the idea that something is bad because it's not good, you know? Something can be good and not bad. I'm wrapping myself in knots here, I know. I'm going to use Star Wars as the analogy here, but if we're talking about what's easy to watch, I'd say how The Mandalorian sets itself up is easy to watch. You know, it's the idea that every week it's an adventure. There's not a really long narrative except for the child. You know, it's nothing too crazy. But, you know, you can just keep picking it up. Whereas something like Andor, you do kind of have to concentrate a bit more. You know, it's not like you can just, you know, be on your phone and doing other things. You know, you really do have to concentrate with something like Andor, and I think that's kind of what that was getting at. I know it's definitely a tangent, but it is where I feel like my head is with some of it. I mean, it's as much as anything that you can watch it multiple times and get multiple things out of it. Whereas I think something like The Mandalorian is very surface level. And I don't think that's too bad. You know, sometimes you don't really need shows to constantly be having you thinking all the time. You know, it can be just fairly surface and have a good story on the surface. But equally, it's not bad having these ones that are deep as well. It's the balance that you want. For me, bad is when there's nothing on the surface or underneath, it's just bad. You should definitely watch it, yeah. Again, I know I'm sort of talking around Andor a bit here, but I'm not saying it's bad or anything, just to be clear. It's just one of them things where I hate the idea it gets pitted up against other Star Wars. It should be like a celebration of how good Star Wars is versus making out like everything else is bad because of it. Yeah, exactly. A lot of the time at night, I just put something on to chill. I don't want to be having my mind churning, thinking about long plots that I've got to keep, like, details in my head. I just want something I can relax to. And again, not everyone's like that. Some people will want something that their mind has to focus on. But it's where I was saying before, I don't think you have to say it's bad because it's not as serious as, say, an Andor is. I hope I did right here. I didn't bring Daka. Alright, Marin down, that's not good. Alright, we got through, but bad banners. What did I say for Adrad? JMK? I've never tried this, but I assume it works. Yeah, I think I lost concentration somewhere with that, but it also could have been I should have done Daka instead of Asajj. Yeah. I haven't actually rewatched Andor. Sorry, I haven't watched Rogue One since Andor. I will have to give it a rewatch. Think of Kenobi as like the light and friendly mate you've got. Andor's the brooding cousin that's serious but cool. Everyone loves him. I mean, it's still set in a galaxy far away, so it's not completely different to the rest of Star Wars. Tonally different, for sure. I mean, I know what you're getting about with Kenobi. I personally found it alright, Kenobi. I didn't think it was needed, but it didn't break the timeline, as I know some people believe. By comparison, Andor actually improves the timeline. You know, if you were wondering about Rogue One impacting A New Hope, then Andor essentially improves Rogue One. Exactly. I found enjoyment from that. You know, I've actually seen a few people recently try and claim that last fight was slop, and I'm like, I might need to rewatch it, but I didn't think it was that bad. Again, I sometimes think people do like to have a moan. And again, fair play, but everyone's got their opinion. I'm not going to tell them they're wrong. But I know I'm pretty firm in my own. I will agree with you there, Fish, as well. It does feel like the second season of Andor was a movie. You know, and I'm not complaining, it was a good movie. But the bit of me that would have liked, like, having multiple seasons, I can't help but wish that we'd had 5 seasons of Andor. Even if Tony Gilroy and Diego Luna were like, no, we cannot do it. Yeah, I mean, I think there is also that angle at times. You know, maybe Star Wars is just not what you want to be in at that time of your life. What if things like, as you say, a raver and all that kind of stuff doesn't really appeal to you? I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying you don't like something anymore. It's always a shame, but I think it's that thing of remembering, just because I'm not liking something doesn't mean other people won't. Like Episode 9, right? It's not my favourite Star Wars movie. I've been on record saying it's my least favourite. But I can't help but look and think there will be young kids out there who want to be Poe Dameron or Finn, or they want to be Rey. And even if I have my issues with how that final film ended, or bits of it anyway, I can't help but think there will be kids and other generations who absolutely love it. You know, just because by the time they grow up, they'll probably have some form of retcon, like the Clone Wars retcons the prequels a bit. So I kind of respect where it will probably land in the timeline eventually. Yeah, exactly. I think that's a good way of looking at it. You know, at least a way of looking at it. You know, they're okay. I think they did the job of reintroducing the franchise to a new generation. I forgot something, or is there a reason why C's gaining no ult charge? Oh, no, I've just realised I ulted way too early. Alright, that could be an issue. Alright, I really wish I'd realised that I wasn't concentrating. I know you have to save up for the ult, so I'm a little wary we may have gone early. That a tank revive, Crom? Yeah. Hopefully we've got time. Yeah, I mean, I think that is the thing as well, that take the Acolyte for argument's sake. I feel like for as much as people are like, I don't like the rice and I don't like this, I don't like that, you never heard him sort of praise the risks it took. You know, like, for me personally, right, I found it quite cool that they decided to do the duel with Camille, as far as, you know, Camille was bloody brutal in that episode. I mean, I get the idea people were maybe saying, oh, the idea he took out all these Jedi and the Prime was ridiculous, and I'm like, well, that's the whole point. He's meant to be the like, an upcoming bad guy, and it really shows his potential threat. That, hang on, he's taking out all these big potential Jedi. I mean, we followed like Jackie and Jord, I think his name was, through multiple episodes. So you're thinking, oh, they're going to be probably big throughout the whole season, and he literally rips them apart. And it's like, for all the things that they have criticisms with, that's when it gets me, when they can't just throw them a bone like that. But again, it's their own. Also, we just squeaked through there. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I'm not saying I have strong emotions either way on that Acolyte. I mean, I'm certainly further away from like the hate side of it. You know, again, that's just me, but I just don't get how people have such strong emotions when you could just walk away. It's like when you see these hate pages about like Kathleen Kennedy online, I'm like, I don't know what the heck she's supposed to have done. This is not my Star Wars. I'm like, your Star Wars probably died when you were 15 and you've not realised it. Yeah, I think that's actually a fair argument. Like, I got into Star Wars via my cousin, and I think he's closing in on 60 now, so, you know, he's definitely in the older generation. And I haven't actually spoken to him about, well, I haven't spoken to him about anything in a while, but I suspect if I were to say to him, what do you think of the new Star Wars content? He would be like, I haven't watched it, not for me. And that's kind of the issue. I would say there is that group that are essentially, yeah, it's not me, it's, you know, it's, I'm more into that, I actually say, the OG era. And it's a shame because there's some decent stuff, it's just you've got to pick and choose what you want, really. If it isn't all for you. I have heard that, yeah. I mean, considering Talon in the game, that is intriguing. I mean, I can definitely imagine George designed Talon's attire. As revered as he is, he also did have a thing for skimpy dresses. Yeah, it is pretty funny. I mean, I probably could have got away without JML there, but I just wanted to use all my toys, really. Here we go. We've done it once today, we'll do it again. Yeah. I haven't got Big Z on me, but it's definitely one out there. Okay, that's not bad. I had a bit of soloing on my main before, and it's kind of fun when you get a chance to do it. Alright, let's pop the shield. Let them whack Rex a bit. AoE. Pop that. Pop that. Yeah. Yeah. We could be in for a rough one. I wanted to spell that. That blows. I will have to take your word on that, Snappy. It's one retribution. Ability blocks across the board, that is nice. Ugh, that is not nice. Come on, worst case scenario, can we get rid of that? Ah! Anakin's gone. Gotta be Ahsoka, we've got to try and get Houndstooth out. At least then there's no tanks. We should be able to get punishing one, but yeah, not ideal. Okay, only drop we've had here. They dropped a couple, so we've got a bit of wiggle room, I think. I'm not matching it, am I? I didn't drop, did I? I've been pretty efficient. Maybe the odd scare, but mostly efficient. Have I got profundity? Yeah, I've got Prof, Mal, Empire. I think I do First Order here. I'm not convinced on it, but I think it might be the best way to deal with it in terms of how it's preloaded. Maybe we can at least try and get one of them out with this. Maybe. Oh, it had to have the mass assist, didn't it? Alright, Xanadu's out. Worst comes to worst, that's one ship gone. 2 ships gone. Three ships gone. Here, give some dots. Oh, an assist. Alright, clean-up done. You got a 23 4-roll mods that just will not go to speed. Now need 150 calibration mats for that, so I've given it up. I'll admit I've had a few dodgy ones lately where I've thought, alright, I'm looking good, and then it just decides, no, I'm not going to give you what you want. Those are very frustrating, I will agree. Like you're begging the RNG gods to just play nice. And they don't. Alright, Mal Mirror. Let's go back in time a bit. Back to when Malevolence negotiated with the meta. There we go. Vulture down. Let's get some fact. Or at least get the game from attacking. I mean, I do wish that... well, I say wish. That's probably going a bit too far. But I would like it if there was some form of mods 3.0, shall we say, at some point. It's crazy to think it, but I don't think 7.mods would be the worst thing in the game, considering datacrons. All it'd be doing is giving a chance to revamp existing mods. Okay, we lost one. Is that the original? Oh, of course not. I think I got rid of the original. So whoever I hit here is a waste, arguably. No nice hits here. Yeah, that gives Maltermia, which I didn't want, but equally I was very wary of letting those I was wary of those Geos stealthing. Right. There we go, we get a summon. There we go. Yeah, I couldn't remember either, but I figure we get the summon out first, and then they can't get the buff immunity on us. So, yeah. I feel like I went to ask about Titaway about doing some of this, but we're here. We've done it. I arguably didn't need to do that now, I realise, because I could have tried to do Empire, but I think the issue is Empire can lose to Malevolence, so somehow in my head the mirror felt more appealing, but I could have done Mal against Prof against Mal, but that goes wrong. Yeah. Ugh. Fuck it, I don't even need that. I've lost Prof versus Mal way too many times to feel it's a good counter. Let's say that. Yeah, I mean, going into that, I didn't feel I was going to lose it, but I did misplay, so say what you will there. Because back before Executive, that was something I was doing very often. But it's not like it's a counter I'm unfamiliar with, it's just a little bit rusty, I'd say. Alright, comeuppance. Ouch. Yeah, I wouldn't mind, but we dropped banners pretty bad though. Okay. 73. Final score. 2027 to 2004. I will take that. Not feeling 100%, so I'm taking it. I don't know what I've just heard. Felt like I could hear something. I didn't know if it was my cat or my mum. That's two different levels, isn't it? Alright, so with that in mind, I'm clocking off. Let's just claim this and claim this before I forget. Nothing here, is there? Nope. Alright. Oh, are we changing screen or? Oh, we're doing a very slow change. A moody change. Yeah, we caught up. We caught up. A smaller stream, a shorter stream, not smaller. I'd say smaller implies lesser quality. I'd actually say my last stream was smaller. Whereas I feel like this one had a lot of better moments. But yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have me dinner. And then, as lame as it sounds, I'm going to have me dinner, I'm going to walk my dog. And then I'm going to get in bed. Because I think I had about 50 minutes of sleep. And then maybe 2 hours. So I won't get some sleep. How I've got through that, I don't know. And I will be honest, this morning I said I wasn't going to do this. So the fact I've got through 2, I'm happy. But yeah, we'll be back Thursday for round 1. And I'm hoping I can finish uploading my Death Stranding videos before Death Stranding 2 comes out. I will admit, anyone who's just keeping track of that, even if it's just like you've subscribed but you're not even watching, you might find it amusing that the run times are going to get longer and longer, because the end of Death Stranding, there's literally just like an hour-long cutscene to my thoughts. And there's not really a point where I can just go in and say, right, let's just stop this video here. It's like, you kind of just have to let it go on. So I'm going to try and cut them, but I suspect it could be a long video coming up. Alright, let's see who we're raiding. RSG's on. Let's go there then. Alive with 3 hours sleep. I feel like I've done less before, but yeah. Not a wise thing to try. I'll tell you what, if you skip cutscenes and Death Stranding or any Hideo Kojima game, you might as well not play the game. Or watch the game for that matter. Alright, let's launch the raid. So, yeah, I'm going to be back Thursday, so hopefully I'll see you then, folks. And yeah, until then, have a good start to your week. Yeah, alright, bye-bye.